What's an American problem you're too European to understand? Australian here, don't understand why tax isn't automatically added to price tags. Why people censor swears that are totally obvious. Ask your doctor about this drug ads. Limited sick days. Their toilet stalls are so ducked up it's unbelievable. Huge gaps in the side you can see people through, huge gaps at the top and bottom, and they don't have occupied signs that show when the door is locked. I was listening to an American podcast recently where they suggested having a light above the stall to show when it's in use. They don't have a clue lol. Having to remember that cars can turn on a red light. I know this is a thing. I've known this for 10 years. I still forget and nearly die every time I need to cross a road when I'm in the US. Ada, I have learned many things in this comment thread, and am formally changing my answer to traffic laws varying between states. The red light turn thing still terrifies me though. The idolization of politicians. They are public servants, similar to a courthouse clerk or a city hall coordinator. They are not rock stars. You don't need to scream their name, buy their merch, fully commit your life to them and believe everything they say. Just treat them like public servants. Sure, they get power and position, but hold them accountable when they abuse it. Don't let corporations and politicians take over. The political system is created by the people, for the people. It just boggles the mind. American here. When I was studying in the UK I had to send some financial documents back to the US. The only way these documents were considered valid was if the original was mailed in, or if I faxed a copy. When I asked the printing office if they could fax it for me they looked at me like I was an alien and said the school hadn't owned a fax machines for like a decade. Then they asked me if I still use a VCR. Probably not really European but Finnish. Memes about forgetting to connect your phone to Wi-Fi. Here we have unlimited internet and it's working almost everywhere. Edit. Also the unlimited mobile data costs here like $30 a month. How much do I tip? 10%? 15%? Do I tip everywhere? Why isn't the tax included? Why does the tip vary? Why are the waiters so underpaid? Edit. Also why do you have to do your tax bill? You could literally go to prison but it's like a guessing game from what I heard. 30 degrees Fahrenheit. While watching Chelsea vs Manchester United yesterday on NBCSN, during halftime there was a good RX commercial where the guy is asking a woman if she would like to fill her prescription. He pulled up the phone and showed her that the same pill can cost from $10 to $90 depending on the area. And that GoodRx can help her fill the prescription with the cheapest prices. Now someone please explain to me how in the ever-loving duck is it possible for a drug to cost 10x more depending on your location? Don't they have constant prices like in the rest of the civilized world? Edit. The answers to my inquiry are even more fucked up. What the fuck America? You're getting robbed in broad daylight. I'm too European to understand how swearing and curse words are such a big deal in movies and songs, but violence and guns are taken with a grain of salt. Edit. Thanks a bunch for my first Reddit medal and all the insightful comments. Australian here, the TV ads for prescription medication always gets me. Like really specific medication too, not just a new over-the-counter painkiller. I think it's good to research medication if you have a condition to be informed about your options. But it's so bizarre to see ads for it in between Property Brothers episodes and ads for Taco Bell. Nipples, or in general the hypersexualization of nudity. Student debt. I pay 20 semester tuition in Austria. American here. I lost a filling a few months ago. The dentist says he won't do any work until I get a deep clean. But my insurance will not pay for a deep clean, which costs about $1,800 used. I can't afford that. So I have to go with this huge hole in my teeth until my jaw gets infected. Once that happens, it becomes a life-threatening illness that my insurance will cover. Is this anything to which you Europeans can relate? Edit. A deep clean is not the same as a regular cleaning. A regular cleaning would have been about $200 $250 used, and is strangely covered by my insurance. A deep clean is under the gums and will involve several shots of Novocaine. I have gotten second and third opinions and nobody wants to do work without that deep clean first. It's about liability, nobody wants to be sued. Not European but driving manual cars. Where I'm from, most people learn stick at 16 to 18. Expensive required textbooks that you have to buy to take a university class. I've never understood the tipping culture in the US. As an Aussie, tipping just isn't really a thing, except like paying $10 for a drink that costs $9.20 and telling the bartender to keep the change. And that's basically it. The lack of maternity rights and maternity leave. Edit. Here are the UK employment rights for comparison. https www.acas.org.uk Your maternity leave pay and other rights. Edit 2. Getting a lot of angry men asking about paternity rights. How about campaign for them if you want them? But maternity leave is primarily for the mother to recover from pregnancy and birth and bond with the infant. I'm all for both parents having rights, but the primary reason for maternity leave is for the mother to recover. Edit 3, from the comments. UK paternity and shared parental leave rights. https archive.acas.org.uk index.asks. Article at 4911. Why tipping is considered part of someone's paycheck. You have $4.50 in your pocket. The fancy drink is advertised at $3.99. Do you have enough money to buy it? Dunno. Lobbying. I never understand how every politician on both sides gets away with legalized bribery and everyone just accepts it. I understand the need for specialist interest groups to promote their ideas, but to be allowed to visibly finance a politician and rate their friendliness to your cause with no repercussions is insane to me. It's bribery no matter how you dress it up. Privatized prison system. Edit. I want to clarify that I am an American. Former military member, Army infantry, did some time in Germany and got knowledge on how their system works. It feels like the United States creates laws out of thin air so you can continuously break a law and have a constant chance of seeing a jail cell for the slightest thing every day. When you add in police aggression into the mix, you pretty much flip a coin whenever you get pulled over, depending on how good the cop is. Honest police will give respect and in return receive and have cooperation. Police on power trips, well, we all have seen some form of how bad that can go. Being from New Orleans, Louisiana, which houses the most inmates in the Union, you feel not only a constant threat to protect yourself from criminals but also from the law. With lawmen not in check, it almost feels like they want you to end up in jail for a broken tail light. New Orleans prisons are no ducking joke. It's a real problem everywhere from big city to small town USA, and I believe is fueled by a privatized prison system. Two-party system, and both are messed up. Here's one I can understand: strong violence on TV, no one bats an eye. Nipple slip, everybody loses their minds. How strongly Americans feel about the flag. I saw a photographer get torn to pieces online because someone was standing on the tiniest bit of the flag and people went ducking apeshit. In the UK, most people probably couldn't spot if the Union flag was round the wrong way. Edit. Just in case you were wondering which way round the Union flag goes, in the half of the flag nearest the flagpole, the wider diagonal white stripe must be above the red diagonal stripe, as Scotland's St Andrew's Cross takes precedence over Ireland's St Patrick's Cross. It is most improper to fly the flag upside down, but nothing people would lose their shit over, it'd just be some knobhead like me who'd point it out. Also, thanks for the gold. You Americans eat like you've got free healthcare. Edit. I never expected this to blow up lol. Thanks for the silver kind stranger. Edit, and thank for the I'm deceased award. With no intent to be rude, but I can't understand how so many people eat themselves to the point of needing a mobility scooter or the point of being bedbound. I live in Sweden and I be alive that the absolutely heaviest person I've ever seen in 30 years was about 400 pounds. Time to sort by controversial and eat some popcorn. Registering to vote. As a Canadian, you're automatically enrolled when you turn 18 and get a notice where your polling station will be for every election. I'm an American but I have a friend who is Italian from Italy. She doesn't understand how sweet everything is, including pasta sauce and bread. And she doesn't understand our obsession with bragging about our heritage. She says if you are born an American you are American. Not Greek, Italian, German on your mom's side, Dutch, English, Scottish on your dad's side. Edit. Wow, I didn't expect so many responses. Some of you are feeling a little salty with the implication that you shouldn't feel proud of your heritage. First of all, this was not my thought. I was repeating something that was said to me by a friend in a response to a question posed by UP. It doesn't necessarily reflect my opinions. Second of all, I specified Italian from Italy versus an Italian American so you could understand that she is an immigrant, first-generation Italian. She came here when she was 28 years old and still considers herself to be Italian. Third of all, she was referring, I believe, to people whose relative came from other country way before they were born, and they've never been to country, don't speak the language, don't have any culture from that country. And so it goes.